This clicked for me when I noticed my no-s that stuck were oddly calm, like a steady not this, while my anxious no-s came with pressure to act immediately and dump the responsibility on fate. Shortcut nobody teaches, rate the sensation, not the story. Breath, gut, jaw, shoulders, hands, 0 to 3. If your body s at a 10 out of 10, your read is contaminated. Calm first, then ask for the message again. You'll either hear a specific, actionable concern, or the urgency will fade, which tells you it was anxiety looking for an exit. Myth 3, the first thought is your intuition. Speed bias comes from survival circuits. Fast is useful when a snake moves, not when you're deciding if you should move cities. Fast thoughts are often habits or protections, and when you've got a trauma template, the first thought is usually the oldest alarm wearing a new outfit. Why this myth spreads, it rewards certainty theater. Quick takes get applause, reflection is invisible. Here's the better rule, calm over quick. Give the signal 60 seconds of quiet and one pass through data and context. If it's real intuition, it survives the pause. If it's fear, it deflates as arousal drops. Microcheck. Imagine saying yes and then imagine saying no. If one image produces a relief spike and the other produces steady clarity, you just found the difference. Relief is anxiety's currency, clarity is intuition. S. Why do these myths go viral in self-help and spiritual spaces? They solve discomfort elegantly. Certainty sells. I just knew sounds cooler than I checked my base rates and waited a day. Social media rewards conviction, not calibration. Plus, avoiding discomfort looks like self-respect from the outside. No one claps for you doing 4 slow breaths before texting back. Okay, so how do we keep the good parts, listening inward without feeding the myths? We tether inner listening to checks. Try these quick reframes as mantras. Align not equal to easy, specific over strong, calm over quick, then apply a micro-sequence. 1. Soothe before choose. 4 slow exhalations, unclench the jaw, drop the shoulders. 2. Ask, what exactly is the claim? If you can't write it as one sentence, it's not intuition yet. 3. Run a miniature context check. What usually happens here? First weeks feel clumsy, feedback stings at first, negotiations feel tense. If your no dissolves once you add base rates, you are arguing with the human condition. A tiny story to anchor this. A creator told me, my intuition says this collab isn't aligned. We ran the checks. After calming, the no turned into, I'm afraid I'll underperform live. That's not alignment, that's arousal. We added data, past live sessions went fine after rehearsal. Context, first collabs feel stiff, second ones loosen. New signal, yes, with a tech check and structured outline. That's intuition upgraded, calm, specific, persistent, and actionable. Before we continue, you need to understand the relief trap again because it's the engine under these myths. If your body learns that labeling discomfort, unaligned, ends discomfort, it will keep serving that label. Break the loop by seeking clarity over comfort. Ask, what would make this a yes? If there's a clear, doable condition, you're dealing with specifics. If the only relief is opting out, that's avoidance wearing beads. So the myths sound spiritual because they dress up protection as wisdom. We're not throwing away inner guidance, we're cleaning the signal. Calm the body, demand specifics, add context. Once you nail that, everything else clicks, especially when we drop the CDC model into your real decisions next. A reliable model, calm data context, CDC, intuition. The game changer nobody talks about is having a repeatable process for inner guidance. Not vibes, not quotes, a process, because when your arousal is high, the read is contaminated. CDC, calm data context, removes the gunk before you listen, and the order matters. If you flip it, you'll just rationalize your fear with numbers and call it wisdom. Calm, let me show you exactly how. 4 slow breaths with an exhale emphasis. Inhale through the nose for 4, exhale through the mouth for 6. Soften your jaw like you're saying ah. Drop your shoulders down and slightly back. Name your state in one sentence. I'm activated and afraid I'll mess this up. That sentence is a pattern interrupt. It shifts you from being inside the storm to observing it. 60 seconds here can save you 6 months of wrong turns. Now data, the thing most people miss is they collect opinions, not facts. You're going to write 6 bullets, 3 for 3 against. Facts only. Examples. The offer matches market data, not it feels fair. Their past behavior shows reliability, not they seem nice. For a relationship decision, your for might be shared values, consistent follow-through, and repair after conflict. Your against might be mismatched timelines, poor communication around plans, and unresolved deal breakers. For a career decision, for might be growth opportunities, aligned mission, and supportive leadership. Against might be unclear role scope, high burnout signals, and vague compensation structure. If you catch yourself writing vibes, translate them into observable evidence. Then context. Before you act, reinsert base rates and time. Ask 2 questions. What usually happens in situations like this? And over what time horizon does this matter? Base rates are the antidote to I'm uniquely doomed. Most new projects feel awkward for 2 to 4 weeks. Most healthy teams communicate expectations poorly once then adjust. Most first dates are ambiguous. Time horizon stretches you out of urgency. Will this decision matter in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? If the 3-week you is panicking and the 3-year you is calm, you're in an urgency tunnel, not a danger zone. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. If you remember nothing else, remember calm first. Because without it, your data is cherry-picked and your context collapses to now. Calm first or the rest is contaminated. Let me give you a micro-story. A client kept ghosting promising opportunities. Pattern: feel interest, feel panic, disappear, feel relief, repeat. We installed CDC before replies. Calm, 4 breaths, jaw soft, shoulders down, namely state. I'm anxious, I'll be exposed as not ready. Data: 3 for previous collaborations went well, topic fits expertise, audience overlap is strong. 3 against, live format is new, timing is tight next week, unclear tech setup. Context: base rates, first live is awkward, second is smoother. Time horizon matters for growth over 6 months, not 6 hours. Decision: yes with parameters, pre-call tech check, structured format, date the week after. No ghosting, no drama. And here's the payoff. The nervous system learned a new association. Activation didn't require escape, it required structure. Now a few pro tips that separate beginners from pros. First, pre-commit your thresholds. For example, I don't decide when my sleep score is under 6, my caffeine is high, or I just had a major conflict. That's a safeguard against trigger thinking. Second, externalize. Write CDC on a sticky note or in your notes app with checkboxes. When it lives outside your head, you're less likely to improvise a justification you'll regret. Third, upgrade your data list with disconfirming evidence. 1 against has to be the best argument for the opposite decision. That forces you to steelman, not strawman. If your best counterargument is flimsy, that's information. If it's strong, maybe you delay, gather more information, or adjust terms. Fourth, widen context with a 2-chair consult. Present you versus future you. Ask future you, what do you wish I'd considered? Often you'll hear things like how this impacts your health, whether this aligns with your deeper mission, or how likely is it to compound over time. Anxiety zooms in, wisdom zooms out. Fifth, timebox the CDC cycle. You're not writing a dissertation. 90 seconds total when stakes are low, 30 to calm, 30 to jot data, 30 to check context. When the stakes are high, extend it, but set a boundary, like 20 minutes and then a scheduled follow-up. Common mistakes to avoid: doing data before calm and turning it into a research binge, confusing no evidence with bad evidence when the situation is simply early, and treating context as permission to delay forever. Context protects you from urgency, it doesn't excuse paralysis. How do you know the CDC pass worked? The felt sense changes from pressure to presence. You'll notice a quiet, specific sentence that doesn't argue for itself. Say yes if there's onboarding support, or have one clarifying call, then decide. It won't demand you act right now, and it will still be there after lunch. This clicked for many of my students when they realized CDC isn't anti-intuition. It's intuition's bodyguard. It escorts your inner voice past the bouncers, arousal, bias, and story, so you can hear it clearly. And once you run CDC a few dozen times, your baseline calibration improves. You'll start feeling the difference between relief-seeking and clarity-seeking before you even pick up the pen. Calm, data, context, in that order. Next, we'll make your body a better instrument by mapping how anxiety and intuition actually feel different. Body signals, anxiety versus intuition, feel different. Okay, so let's tune the instrument, your body. Anxiety and intuition both live in sensations, but they leave different fingerprints. Once you can feel that difference, you'll stop confusing relief for wisdom. Anxiety's signature is fast, loud, urgent, and diffuse. It shouts, "Do something now," without telling you what exactly. It pushes for relief, cancel, ghost, say no, escape. You'll notice a global activation, tight jaw, lifted shoulders, shallow breath, buzzing hands, churning gut. The story in your head tends to be global too. It's wrong, it's unsafe, I can't. And the signal changes with your state. After coffee, after a conflict, or late at night, it swells. Intuition's signature is quiet, specific, and persistent without pressure. It seeks clarity, not relief. It sounds like a sentence you could write down. Ask for a later start date, clarify scope before you agree, don't go to that party tonight. It doesn't argue for itself, it repeats itself. And it holds steady across states. After a walk, after a meal the next morning, it's still the same sentence. Before we label anything, run an interoceptive checklist. Rate each signal from to 3. 0 is calm, 3 is intense. Breath, are you holding it, breathing high and fast or low and slow? Gut, is there a tight ball, a twist, or a neutral fullness? Jaw clenched, lightly tense or soft. Shoulders, up by your ears, slightly elevated or dropped. Hands cold and clammy, tingling or warm and neutral. Add them up. If your total is high, your read is likely contaminated by arousal. Anxiety loves to borrow the body's microphone. Now a 30-second body reset to clear static. Exhale longer than you inhale, 4 in through the nose, 6 out through pursed lips twice. Drop your shoulders on the exhale like you're setting down a backpack. Soften your gaze, widen your visual field, let the jaw hang for 2 seconds and then settle. As you breathe, quietly name your state, activated and predicting failure, or jumpy and scanning for rejection. That sentence turns the volume down on the alarm without ignoring it. Once you've reset, ask the signal to be specific. If your intuition, what exactly are you saying? Wait for a clear, concrete instruction. Anxiety will push for a global no or a fast exit. Intuition gives you a direction you can act on or test. For example, anxiety says, this job is wrong. Intuition says, it's right if onboarding is structured and you get a mentor. Anxiety says, they're bad for me. Intuition says, slow the pace to 1 date a week and watch reliability for 3 weeks. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Watch for relief spikes. If imagining an exit gives you a fizzy, immediate relief, that's anxiety seeking to shut down arousal, again, negative reinforcement. If imagining a small, specific action gives you a steady, grounded yes, that's intuition. Relief reduces pressure, clarity creates direction. Common mistake, chasing relief instead of clarity. You'll feel a body spike, decide fast, get the and call it wisdom. That reinforces the loop. The fix is simple, ask for one clarifying step. If your body hates the idea of a clarifying call but loves the idea of cancelling, you found the relief bias. Do the clarifying call. Let me anchor this with a quick moment from a student. She felt a heavy no about presenting to leadership. We ran the checklist: breath 2, gut 2, jaw 3, shoulders 2, hands 2, high activation. After the reset, the global no turned into, yes, if I can present with a co-lead and get slides reviewed ahead. She asked, got the support, presented well, and the no never returned. Anxiety wanted out, intuition wanted conditions. Another tell, time tolerance. Anxiety compresses time, now or never. Intuition tolerates a 24-hour pause unless there's an actual safety issue. If your signal can survive sleep, it's more likely wisdom. If it evaporates after food, water, or a walk, it was just arousal. Also notice location and direction. Anxiety often feels like upward pressure, energy rising to the face, heat, tightness lifting. Intuition often feels like downward settling, a drop in the belly, a grounded weight, a softening behind the eyes. That's not a rule, but it's a useful pattern to track in your data diary. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Anxiety seeks relief, intuition seeks clarity. So breathe, soften, ask for specifics, and see whether the message holds after your state shifts. We're ready to turn this into a quick diagnostic. Next up is the 60-second clarity test, the fastest way to separate a relief impulse from a real inner yes. The 60-second clarity test. Let's make this practical. You can run this in the middle of a text thread, before you hit send on an email, or while you're staring at a calendar invite. It has 4 steps and 1 rule. Move fast but not frantic. Step 1. Name the threat your body predicts. 1 sentence, no commas. Say it out loud or write it. If I say yes, I'll fail and look stupid. If I don't reply now, they'll abandon me. If I take this job, I'll burn out. Keep it simple. The act of naming turns fog into an object. If you can't state it plainly, you're not dealing with intuition yet. You're dealing with noise. Now here's where most people mess up. They judge the emotion instead of classifying the signal. Step 2 is classification. 2 questions. Is the signal specific or vague? And is it about now or the future? A specific now signal sounds like, don't get in that car, the driver's drunk. A vague future signal sounds like, something's off. Maybe this whole plan is wrong. Specific beats vague. And present tense safety trumps far future storytelling. If you get vague and future, you've likely got anxiety riding high. If you get specific and now, pay attention but verify. Step 3 is the swap. Imagine the opposite outcome for 5 seconds. If your sentence was, if I take this job, I'll burn out, swap it to, if I take this job, I'll grow with support. If your sentence was, if I don't reply now, they'll abandon me, swap to, if I wait 24 hours, the connection will hold. Watch your body, not your thoughts. Relief spike or steady clarity. Relief feels like a quick exhale, a drop in pressure, maybe a tiny buzz of phew. That's the nervous system rewarding escape. Steady clarity feels grounded, like, yes, that tracks, without a rush. It's quiet, specific, and it doesn't demand you act right this second. Step 4 is the safety check. Can this decision wait 24 hours without real harm? If yes, it's not an emergency. Anxiety compresses time. Intuition can tolerate a pause. If you genuinely can't wait, rare, but it happens, run a mini CDC. 2 slow exhales, jot 2 facts, recall 1 base rate, then act. But 9 times out of 10, you can wait, and waiting exposes whether the signal is persistent or just arousal. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. You're about to cancel a coffee with someone promising because you feel off. Step 1. If I go, I'll feel awkward and waste time. Step 2. Specific or vague. That's vague. It's about a feeling, not an event. Now or future. It's presentish but non-specific. Step 3. Swap 2. If I go, I'll learn something useful even if it's not a fit. Does your body flood with relief or settle with clarity? If relief surges at the idea of cancelling, you're chasing relief. Step 4. Can this wait 24 hours? Yes. You keep the date, but you add one clarifying question beforehand to aim the meeting. That's clarity-seeking behavior. Another example with higher stakes. A role opens at your dream company. Your sentence: if I leave my current job, I'll regret it. Classification: vague future. Swap: if I leave, I'll gain growth and stay within my health limits. Watch your body. If cancelling the whole idea gives you a fizzy relief, clock it. Safety check: you can wait a day. Sleep, then rerun. If tomorrow the sentence that remains is only if the role has a defined scope and a realistic onboarding. That's intuition, specific, conditions attached, persistent. Common pitfalls. 1. Overthinking the sentence. Don't wordsmith. 5 seconds, write it ugly. 2. Confusing a calm no with a relief no. They both feel better than pressure, but a calm no is steady and specific. No, because timeline and values conflict. A relief no arrives like a pressure drop with no details. 3. Turning the swap into fantasy. Keep it realistic. Plausible opposite, not magical thinking. If you remember nothing else about this test, remember the interpretation rule. Relief spike equals anxiety. Quiet, specific persistence equals intuition. And yes, sometimes you'll be unsure. That's not failure, that's a cue. Default to CDC and delay. Calm the body. Collect 3 facts for and against. Reinsert base rates and your time horizon. Then rerun the test. A quick micro-story. A founder messaged me. My gut says don't raise now. We ran the test. Threat sentence: if we raise, we'll lose control. Classification: vague future. Swap: if we raise, we'll extend runway and choose aligned investors. Body response: immediate relief at not raising. Safety check: could wait a week. After CDC, the persistent sentence became: raise only if we secure a lead with protective terms. That's intuition upgraded, specific and patient, not a blanket no. This is a 60-second ritual, not a ceremony. Use it before yes, before nos, and especially when you feel that urgent push to escape. The goal isn't comfort, it's clarity. Evidence, not ego. The decision pre-mortem. When the stakes climb, intuition needs receipts. Ego loves confident stories, risk hates them. A pre-mortem keeps you honest by assuming the decision failed and asking why. It sounds negative, but it's actually protective realism. You're not manifesting failure. You're surfacing what would make it fail, so you can design around it before you commit. Start with this prompt. It's 6 months later. This decision went badly. What are the top 3 plausible reasons? Plausible means boring, likely, not dramatic. For a job move, that might be unclear role scope, culture misfit, or unsustainable workload. For a relationship decision, it might be mismatched timelines, unreliable repair after conflict, or value drift.